Hey guys, do you like funny video game quotes? Well, check out my book, A Winner Is You, the funniest video game quotes with snarky commentary. It has everything from A Winner Is You, All Your Base Belong to Us, and, especially, Are You a Bad Enough Dude to Save the President, and a lot more. So make sure to check out the book in the link below, and if you purchase the physical version from Amazon, you get the Kindle version completely for free. It's one hell of a bargain, so check it out in the link below. Take care. Welcome to Awesome Video Game Memories, where we talk about awesome memories about video games. I'm Ryan, and the game we're going to talk about today is Days Gone. So Days Gone is a PS4 exclusive developed by Bend Studio. And I first saw previews of this game back at E3, and I was like, you know what, that just looks like a generic zombie game, but holy crap, there are a lot of fucking zombies. And I do gotta admit, my interest for this game started from here, but then went way up here. So I did get to go to the PlayStation Experience in 2017 and got to see the big Days Gone display, as you can see up here. So when this game came out, it was getting kind of mixed reviews, and I was like, should I really check this game out? So what actually convinced me to get this game, I did see the rapid fire review by Delrith on the Angry Joe show, and he gave it a good review, so I was like, you know what, I'll trust Delrith over other reviewers like IGN. IGN. You can't spell ignorant without IGN. And I decided right before E3 2019 there was a PlayStation sale, not only digitally, but you can buy the physical copy from Walmart for 19 bucks, so I decided, why not? Let's play some Days Gone. So Days Gone is an open-world post-zombie outbreak game, kind of like 28 Days Later, the movie. So Days Gone begins with your protagonist, Deacon St. John, his wife Sarah, and their pal Boozer, as they're escaping the zombie horde. Well, actually they're not called zombies, they're called freakers, because they're freaky, ooh. So Deacon's wife Sarah is injured and needs medical attention, and then they find a Nero helicopter, so they actually put Sarah on board, but Deacon and Boozer decide to stay behind to make sure Sarah gets to safety. So 2 years pass and we're here in Oregon. It still looks kind of beautiful actually, although everything is, overrun by freakers, with Deacon St. John and his pal Boozer trying to fight for survival against the freakers. So like I said before, Days Gone is an open world, post-zombie apocalypse game, kind of like GTA, but with zombies. A lot different than GTA though. So you get to travel through Oregon, going to camps, doing missions for people, trying to survive, you get weapons, and not only do you get to fight the freakers, you get to fight crazy-ass humans like scavengers and the Rippers. Ooh, the Rippers. And each moment of this game is a fight for survival in a post-zombie apocalyptic world. And as you travel through Oregon trying to scavenge through abandoned camps, abandoned towns, abandoned cities, you actually get a nice wide variety of weapons like guns, crossbows, shotguns, and eventually rifles. But most of the time I stuck with either the rifle, the machine gun, or the Molotov cocktails, which definitely come in handy a lot. And there are certain parts of the game where you see gigantic ass freaker hordes and you're like, you know what? I wonder what happens if I go near there. Holy shit! And there are a few missions later in the game where you have to destroy freaker hordes, man. But throughout the game, you do get a lot of nice weapons and a lot of nice heavy arsenals to get rid of these things, like, gigantic Molotov cocktails, pipe bombs, and then you get traps. You're like, oh man, I want the freakers to step in this one. And then you have the newts, which are freaker kids. Yes, you have kids that became zombies. That's really never been done in games, quite frankly. Yeah, I know there's games with freaky kids, but zombie kids? You deal with zombie kids. Wow. At least you don't get zombie fetuses. And then you get the screamers. Oh, I hate those screamers. And you also get those gigantic freakers, strong as bull. Yeah, you better avoid these things, but there are a couple missions where you do have to fight them. So 2 years after the freaker outbreak and trying to get Sarah to safety, we find out that Sarah actually died because one of the Nero camps actually got overrun by a whole bunch of zombies. R.I.P. Sarah. R.I.P. So Deacon St. John and Boozer are trying to survive, but then your pal Boozer has an unfortunate meeting with the Rippers, one of the human gangs who are, what did they do to their skin, man? Ugh. Which makes him have a very, very serious arm injury, and it makes him go a bit crazy. So Deacon is trying to find someone that can help heal Boozer's arm. So while you leave Boozer at your hideout, you end up in Copeland's camp, run by Mark Copeland, who runs Radio Free Oregon. The truth will set you free. And usually when you're riding around in your motorcycle and Deacon's listening to the radio with Mark Copeland, he's like, "Man, Copeland, you're just full of shit, man. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?" And your travels do bring you to this town where you find this girl named Lisa, who's like, "My parents are coming back, right? My parents are coming back in the zombie apocalypse. I'm just gonna stay here at home where it's all ruined. Okay, Lisa, we're gonna take you back to camp right now. Lisa, come with us. It's not safe here." "Your family's not coming back, Lisa. We're sorry." So in order to heal Boozer's arm, Deacon has to go back to this camp called Silver Lake, and Silver Lake he has a bit of a history with because he does not get along with Silver Lake's chief, Iron Mike. So he's like, I'm going to sneak in, I'm going to find someone who's going to help me with Boozer's arm, and holy shit, I got caught. But luckily, your good old pal Ricky Patel and her girlfriend Addison can actually treat Boozer's arm, and you do have to do a couple of missions for Iron Mike and his assistant Skizzo. Alright, man. With a name like Skizzo, I think this guy's gonna fuck us over. I mean, that name Skizzo just sounds a little schizophrenic, don't you think? So Iron Mike has this plan to get some dynamite to actually blow up the Freaker caves, to seal them in so the Freakers can't get out of the caves, because kind of during the night hours the Freakers kind of go inside their caves and shit. And there are also some missions you have to do for this Nero agent called O'Brien, and O'Brien was actually the agent that took Sarah in the helicopter 2 years ago, but he was the one that says, yeah, Sarah's dead, and he actually makes you do a couple of missions for him, because Deacon still has some kind of hope that Sarah's actually alive. And a lot of these missions kind of require you to sneak around the Nero agents because you cannot deal with these guys, you can't fight them, you can't shoot them, and you kind of have to listen to them because, a lot of the Nero agents don't tell O'Brien what they're doing, and O'Brien's like, I need some help on the inside, man, you gotta tell me what they're doing because, they don't tell me shit and they might shoot me. And there are a lot of flashbacks in the game that show how, Sarah and Deacon met, and then Deacon picks up Sarah from her job at Cloverfield, which is a very important part later, because Sarah was actually a scientist who worked for Cloverfield. And Deacon does have a flashback of their wedding, and Deacon's like, you know what? It's finally time to say goodbye. But so luckily Addison is able to heal up Boozer's arm at the cost of Boozer's arm. So Boozer loses his arm, but he gets this really cool, awesome mechanical arm, which he can stab Freakers with. But then Iron Mike's plan to actually seal in the Freakers actually goes awry when you and Skizzo try to infiltrate the Ripper hideout, and then Skizzo betrays you to the Rippers! I knew it! Traitor! Traitor! And then as you're tortured by the Rippers, you actually find out the Ripper leader, Carlos, was actually one of your old mongrel gang member pals, Jesse Williamson. So Jesse was behind this whole Ripper thing. So as you're escaping the Ripper hideout, you actually run into Lisa, who actually ran away and became part of the Rippers, but she remembers that you helped save her life, so she frees you. And then after that, you get revenge on Carlos, aka Jesse. And then you end the Ripper menace for good by actually using the dynamite to flood their hideout. So Iron Mike's plan to actually, seal in the Freakers with the dynamite is actually changed to flooding out the Rippers. So we call Skizzo out for being a traitor, but Iron Mike's like, no, we're gonna have a fair trial. Fair trial. We're not gonna feed him to the Freakers, we're gonna have a fair trial. Yes, it is post-apocalyptic zombie world. But then later you find out Iron Mike lets Skizzo go because I don't want no bloodshed, man. No violence, no bloodshed. You can go, Skizzo. You're free. Which actually does bite Iron Mike in the ass much later on, you'll see. So Deacon St. John, realizing there still might be a chance that Sarah's alive, goes down south to the Deschutes County Militia, and then he encounters Colonel Garrett, who is a little cuckoo in the head. Yeah, Colonel Garrett's like, we'll free this town of the Freakers, but you know what? Mankind's biggest enemy is mankind himself. But then you actually find out Sarah's alive! Plot twist! No, I did not. Okay, honestly, I did not see this coming because the whole first half of the game pretty much hints that, Sarah's dead. Because, O'Brien's like, I'm sorry, man. Sarah's dead. Sarah's not here anymore, but here's her key card for her job, but she might be dead. Sorry. But she's alive, but for some reason, Sarah's not exactly super thrilled to see you because there is some rule in the Shooties County Militia that, people can't really hook up. So Sarah has to be like, sir, no sir, I don't know this person, sir. Oh my god, Deacon, I missed you so much. So you do have to do a couple of missions for Sarah and the militia, and then you go back to Cloverfield, where you actually find out that Sarah's research was used to create the virus that created the Freakers. Well, Cloverfield, I think your friends, from the Umbrella Corporation back in Raccoon City had this same problem before. So you basically caused the end of the world. And Sarah feels responsible for it, but the big problem in Cloverfield is they can't get out because the old security guard Jim, who was an asshole back to Deacon back in the day, is kind of running the place, and he's like, I'm going crazy, man! I'm going crazy! Oh, you people are crazy, man! There's freakers everywhere! And then, I'm gonna seal myself in, and then you aren't getting out, man! You aren't getting out! So after you defeat Jim, you actually realize Sarah's trying to create a cure for the Freakers after her cure kind of fails to cure Newt, where Colonel Garrett's like, we're gonna destroy all the Freakers, man. Freaker genocide. The army is marching. So Deacon actually calls on a favor from his old pal O'Brien from Nero saying, hey, I got Sarah back, so you're gonna help us escape, right? But then your plan is found out by Colonel Garrett, and then you're knocked out, and then you're awaiting execution. But your old pal Corey's like, I always knew Colonel Garrett was pretty crazy from the beginning, so I'm gonna help you escape. And he also recruited Skizzo! I knew it, that traitor Skizzo is now part of the militia! You can't trust him! You cannot! So Colonel Garrett leads an assault against Silver Lake, and then Skizzo kills Iron Mike! You bastard! I knew letting him go was gonna bite you in the ass, man! So in the final part of the game, in order to avenge Iron Mike and take out the militia once and for all, Deacon, Boozer, Ricky, and everybody else have this plan to ram right into the militia's hideout and to take out Skizzo and General Garrett once for all. So we raid the militia hideout, and then Skizzo's like, you know what, I had to take out Iron Mike, man. I had to take him out. He wasn't a part of this. He wasn't a part, man. He didn't understand me at all. So Deacon finally takes out the traitor Skizzo once and for all, but then General Garrett's like, have a seat. Everybody, have a seat. I'm fucked up right now. But you know what? Let's just have some tea. But then after that, Colonel Garrett dies because Sarah actually poisoned his tea, and that's it. We finally defeated the militia, and everything's over, and we go back to a happy ending. Well, the Freakers are still out there. So we go back to Silver Lake. Deacon is now the head of the camp, so Boozer's having a good time. Sarah's having a good time. Ricky and Addison are having a good time. So it's finally over. Or is it? So if you do the rest of the missions, you do get the secret ending in the game, where O'Brien is like, the Freaker strain, it's evolving. It's mutating, man. So you see O'Brien without his helmet, and he's one of the intelligent Freakers. And he's like, Nero's coming, man. Nero's coming, and there's nothing you can do about it. And thus finally ending Days Gone, leaving a sequel open for Days Gone 2, O'Brien's Revenge. Or whatever they're gonna call it. So yeah, Days Gone. I was very, very skeptical about this game because I was like, it's another zombie apocalypse game. But I actually really liked it. And I don't see what the critics were ranting about. They're like, there's no character development, blah, blah, blah. And, the aim's a little off. Yeah, I do admit the aim during combat can be a little wonky, but I got used to it pretty quickly. But I don't know what they're talking about. There was a lot of character development. Deacon matured as a character. Yeah, and I was actually surprised that Sarah was alive. They made it so obvious that she died, in the first half of the game, but then you find out she's alive, but, she's part of the military. Boozer gets character development. He loses his arm, but he still has that fighting spirit. And I like the relationship between Ricky and Addison. And so I don't know what they're talking about. There's more than enough character development, and there's definitely a lot of room for a sequel. And if Ben's studio decides to make a sequel for this game, I'm all for it, man. Yeah, hopefully for the PS5. And Days Gone actually does prove that the biggest enemy to society is not exactly, the Freakers, it's actually human beings and their lust for power and their corruption. So Days Gone is definitely a game that surprised me very much, and I enjoyed the hell out of it, and it is definitely one of the best PlayStation 4 exclusives, and I do highly recommend it. Alright guys, so that ends this episode of Awesome Video Game Memories about Days Gone, and it's kind of quiet around here. I hope there's no Freaker hordes coming. Holy shit! Hey everybody, Ryan here, and thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, especially subscribe, and make sure to click on that notification bell so you know when we release new videos, because YouTube probably won't tell you. And if you want to watch me play games live, you can watch me on twitch.tv/BattleGeekPlus. And if you have a Twitch Prime account, you can subscribe for emotes and a lot more awesome perks to support the show. And if you want to support the show, you can donate at patreon.com/Ryan Molina, because every dollar helps me bring you a better show. And make sure to follow me on Twitter at @RyanMolina and at BattleGeekPlus. And also make sure to check out the official Battle Geek Plus website at BattleGeekPlus.com. We got books, we got t-shirts. Make sure to check out our awesome popcorn-related t-shirts, our Battle Geek Plus t-shirts, and a lot more. And last but not least, make sure to check out these other videos while you're here. Thank you very much, and see you later.